Hi guys, welcome back. I'm very excited to teach you about the graphs of trigonometric functions. I am so sad because some of my most fun activities that I have the most fun with and I think are really fun are in this unit, and so I'm sad that we can't do them together. Like, I have one that we use spaghetti to discover the graphs, and then I have another one where we create it and do art projects, but I'm still going to give you guys some fun art projects to do at home that you can do in lots of creative ways, either online or by hand. So to begin with, we're going to say what the heck is a sine and cosine function, and what are those graphs, and why are they important, and why do we care? Most things in this world move in waves, okay? Water, that's the most obvious one, right? If you drop something in water, you see the waves go. But then also sound waves. So everything you hear, that's moving in waves. Light, everything you see because of the way that waves are hitting your eyes. So much of this world and the physics of this world are based on waves, and in order to talk about those waves, to analyze those waves, and to create those waves, we need to use sine and cosine functions. These are called sinusoidal functions. You may have heard that before. So I'm going to go back to the unit circle that we've seen before, that you guys discovered, we spent some time on before the end, before we left into this craziness. Oh, you may be wondering why I'm wearing weird glasses, because I have my full math geek on right now for you. Okay, so we've got that unit circle, and I just want to review some important things about that unit circle. So the first thing is that it's a unit, right? So the radius is always 1, meaning that in every direction, whether you're going here or here, the radius is always 1. So we've got a couple key points that I put on the circle, those 4 important points. They're going to 4, remember that. At 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1. Then there's all those other little ones that we made. Those will come in later. Okay. One little note I want to make is about what degrees is at each angle, or at each coordinate. So right here, this is 0 degrees, right? 0 degrees is also 0 radians. Easy. Okay, this is 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270, and then back to 360. Now remember that 360 degrees, a full circle, is 2 pi. So if we think about it this way, half of that would be 1 pi. So at 180, that's really the same as 1 pi. So I'm going to put that right here, that this is 180 or just pi, 1 pi. Okay. Well, if you think about half of that, which is 90 degrees, oh, that's half of pi. So that's pi over 2. Pi over 2. Okay. And then this is like between 1 pi and 2 pi, it's like 1.5 pi. We write that as 3 over 2. So this is 270 degrees or 3 over 2 pi. Okay. Those are going to be important in a second. So when we're graphing, okay, we want to think about it like that. So we've got those 4 important points. I made them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are going to be important. Okay. So we think about, remember, we go back to the idea of cosine and sine. So if you remember on the unit circle, okay, if you had a triangle on the unit circle, the x value is the adjacent side. So that's the x value, and adjacent is cosine. So the x value is cosine. Then if you remember, the y value, that's this side right here, up and down, that's the y value. That's the opposite from the angle, and opposite is sine. So an important thing to remember is that x is cosine and y is sine. That's going to come in play. Okay, so let's go back here. If we're doing sine, we're only looking at y values because the sine is y. Makes sense. Remember, that's the vertical, right? How high something is. So right here, at 0 degrees, what is the y value? So this is the y value. That's at 0. So I can make a point right there. Then I go up to 90 degrees, okay, or pi over 2. What is the y value there? Well, that's 1. So here, we'll put 1 right here, put negative 1 right there. So at this point right here, we go up to 1. Awesome. So we'll put here that this is 90 degrees or pi over 2. Remember, the whole circle we said was 2 pi. Half of that is pi. It's pi over 2, and that's 3 over 2 pi. 3 over 2 pi. Okay, because that's like the full circle. All right, so just to recap, here at 0 degrees, the y value was 0. Got it. At 90 degrees or pi over 2, the y value is 1. Got it. At 180 degrees or pi, the y value is back at 0. Got it. At 270 degrees or 3 pi over 2, the y value is negative 1. Got it. And then when we go back to 2 pi, the y value is back at 0. Okay, well, if I connect those points, I just created a wave. And this is the sine wave. Notice the sine wave starts at 0. That's going to be really important. It starts at 0 always. It starts at the midline, right? And we're going to learn what that is in a second. So it starts at 0 or the midline. Okay. Now let's take a look at cosine. So same concept. I'm going to just switch out my markers here. Okay. We're going to do y equals cosine x. Only difference now is that we're going to remember that cosine is the x values. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this is the ugliest graph. I'm going to start that over again. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 pi. Half of that's pi. Pi over 2. And 3 pi over 2. Okay. Awesome, awesome. And then we've got positive 1 up here and negative 1 down here. Great. Okay. So we're going to do cosine now. So at 0, okay, the x value is at 1. So this one now is going to start up here. Great. Then at pi over 2 or 90 degrees, the x value is 0. Okay. Then at pi or 180 degrees, the x value is negative 1. Okay. Then down here, the x value is back at 0. And when we've gone full circle, the x is back at 1. Because remember, x is that side at 1. So if I sketch that in, it looks quite similar, but it's like only showing me a part of that graph, okay? Notice that this one starts at, for now we're going to call it the top. It's called the amplitude. Or we'll call it the maximum. We'll even say the max. Okay? Because it's the highest point. So this is a really important basic concept of graphs of sine and cosine functions. You can pause it and take some notes.